Hello, I'm Omar Oakes, Editor-in-Chief of The Media Leader, and we are here at the Year Ahead 2024, and I'm here with Daniel Wong-Chi-Man from Ipsos. Hello, welcome.
Hi.
So, what did you think of what you heard today at the Year Ahead?
I thought it was really, really thought-provoking. I think it was Charlene Williams, from the Future 100, when she talked about the fact that as leaders, we really need to be present and listening. As a young leader myself, I think there's lots of takeaways that I can take from that. And I think, what really needs is that message that she shared today needs to be amplified further. There were lots of other great things, talking about kind of some of the challenges that we're facing ahead, and as always, it was a good event.
Yeah, what struck you in terms of the challenges that we are facing as an industry this year?
Yeah, I think, I think it was Carol from UM who talked a little bit about data and measurement and the need for, understanding more about the approaches and the rigor behind that. For me, I think as more and more of us think about kind of AI, that quality and rigor behind data is really, really important because, AI is a tool at the end of the day, and AI will speed up the way that we do things, will speed up how we plan. But if you haven't got credible, quality, reliable data, you're not going to get really credible, quality, reliable, actionable insights afterwards. And so I think that's something, as a whole, the industry really needs to consider and think about is, the sources that these data sources are coming from. We heard a little bit from Google. Interestingly, Google and Apple are to an extent starting to control privacy. So if you think about apps, for instance, they're increasingly putting changes into what can and can't be measured, which is creating more gaps in the industry as a whole. And so when there's more gaps, we need to find more alternative data streams or data sources. And again, we need to think about kind of where that's coming from. Is it truthful or is it just noise? And so, I found that really, really interesting.
Yeah, and it's one of these things which is only early speeding up this issue about in a world of big data.
Yeah.
If you're an advertiser, how do you manage it? There's been so much talk today about AI. As we record this, it's going to be out of date by the time this video comes out probably. Microsoft has actually overtaken Apple as the world's biggest publicly listed company, which is back basically on the strength of AI. So what would your top tip be, I suppose, for your advertiser trying to get a handle on this world of big data and AI?
Yeah, I think, it's really, we're moving into a world where I think we need to think a lot more about kind of the partners that we work with. In the sense that, there are a lot of different kind of AI vendors, there are a lot of different kind of data sources that are there, and so we're really moving to what I would call kind of a partnerships game. And so in that instance, one of the themes I think that we really need to think about is, it's going to be a mixture of artificial intelligence and human intelligence. So those who are going to succeed next year are those that are going to be really able to marry and blend those. And I think, if I was to give a personal prediction as to kind of what the trend for next year will be, it's going to be integration. So integration in the sense of how do we integrate kind of data? How do we integrate AI on top of that data? How do we integrate maybe other parties and other vendors together? How do we work as a group? But more importantly, when you're thinking about the industry as a whole, you saw kind of Channel 4 saying that they're going to integrate kind of their linear and broadcasting. I think there's going to be more integration as a whole. So if there was one theme that I would add to it, I think intrinsically, there's going to be far greater integration in the industry as a whole, which is going to make the media landscape, far more complicated.
An interesting year ahead.
Yeah.
Choose carefully who you're friends with. I like that prediction quite a lot. Dan Wong-Chi-Man, thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
And stay tuned for more on this, themedialeader.co.uk.
Cheers.
If you like this video, please subscribe. The Media Leader is the UK's leading source of analysis, opinion and data for people who work in advertising and media.